Do you know how this works? And again, it's not my job to educate them. Hey there, everyone. Dave Barlow here with the gang from Sell for 1%. I am the father of the most handsomest realtor for the last 18 years. My oldest son,
the best looking realtor.
Oh, best looking
years in a row.
I like
I'm also the back-to-back 2-time buyer agent of the year as well. Thank you.
And my other son, Jaime. So,
then Jaime.
Jaime has a lot to live up to.
Hey there, everyone.
All right, so we got our term of the week going this week. And this week's term is backup offer. Ooh. What is a backup offer? Jada Bomb, what do you think? Backup offer.
Well, as I always say, backup offer, schmack up offer. So that's how I feel about that.
I think they're pretty good. I've had 2 or 3 buyers that have gotten into contract as a result of being in a backup position. So as you make your smirky remarks,
I've waged war with backup offers. I am the backup offer king.
Oh, okay.
And to be honest, it always feels wrong, but it's also you're working for your client. And so what I'm talking about is, as a seller, and Dad too, mostly doing listings. I mean, we like to collect a backup offer. And what a backup offer is, you're already in contract with somebody to purchase the home, and you get an offer, or maybe you have a bidding war, maybe an offer comes in later after you're already in contract. You know, it could be a variety of things. Maybe a buyer's been looking and they just, do a showing for the purposes of backup on one that's in contract. And that's something Jaime can touch on as you're looking for inventory. You know, there's ways to do this. So we collect these offers because for the seller, it's ultimately leverage. If our first buyer gets squirrely, if they send us a ridiculous home inspection request, if they want to play games and not close on time or whatever happens, I got somebody else I can go to.
Right.
And so I can, whether I actually go to them or ultimately leverage that other offer to get the first buyer to do what we need them to do.
Yep.
That's why we would like to have a backup offer.
Sure.
And where I've, used this and won for my client, there's 2 that come to mind. The first one, I had a broker that I was dealing with on the other side. So not it's like a normal buyer agent that's been doing this for 2 years. I mean, it was an experienced agent. She had the buyer, I had the seller. We were in contract. I forget the numbers, let's say for $400,000. We had an offer come in after we were already in contract for $410,000. Somebody that lived in the neighborhood had a friend that wanted to move in. So they made us an offer for $10,000 more dollars. And I mean, they were blowing me up every day trying to get this house. And so our primary buyer did a home inspection, and they sent over a remedy request. And the remedy request was fairly basic, just, needed the furnace to be cleaned, $200, something along those lines. So the move that we made in that situation was we just didn't respond to the request. The way that the purchase contract works, buyer does a home inspection. They can terminate or they can send a request. If they send a request, which this buyer did, another timer of days starts. And when you get to the end of that timeline, either you agree to what you're going to fix, the buyer can withdraw their request and buy it as it is, or if the seller doesn't agree, the contract automatically terminates. Right. This is designed to protect the buyer. So we just kind of delayed and didn't respond. They didn't withdraw. And so on the day after their home inspection, we called them up and said, sorry, I got a backup offer for $10,000 more dollars. Can you beat it? And, they were obviously very upset, and they didn't match it. They let it go, and we sold her for $10,000 more dollars. And my seller was thrilled. I mean, she thought I was a genius. But like I said, you feel, it doesn't feel good to pull that move on somebody, but that's, it's basic. It's 101. I've never had that happen to me. I've withdrawn remedy requests at 11:59 p.m. in all seriousness.
Right.
With a timestamp or a pre-delivered email that I scheduled. I mean, there's ways to maneuver that period.
I think the key is that as real estate agents, and you guys have heard the term before, we have a fiduciary duty to our clients to represent their best interests.
Right. Not the other agents, not the other clients.
And unfortunately, if the other agent doesn't have the experience, the skill, the understanding, then you run into situations like this where, our clients are better informed as to what their rights are within the purchase contract. And you end up making $10,000 more because the other agent didn't realize, that we had to, terminate this request to remedy in order for us, not to fall out of contract. So, Jaime, backup offers to you as a buyer agent, good and bad and different?
If you like the house enough to buy it, and it is in contract, there is no harm or foul with a backup offer. I've sent a lot of backup offers in, and every once in a while, one will fall out of contract and come back to you. Right. I would say most of the time they end up closing, but we're seeing things fall out of contract here a little more often. Worth it. I think other agents don't really take it as serious as they should. The other listing agents that are in contract get a backup offer and don't really take it as serious. I think they're great. I think they're worth it. And if you want the home, there's a chance you can get it. So we will help you out there.
Yep, I agree. I mean, it is, from the buyer side of things, the way the backup offer is structured, you can rescind it
at any time.
Before you become the primary offer. So there's no harm in you I can't tell you how many agents I call after a bidding war and say, hey, you're number 2, you're number 3. You want to be the backup? No. And it's like, okay, that's
an
fine.
Emotional response.
Well, and they're not even asking their client.
Right.
They're not educating their client on what that means, because what that means for that buyer and what it means for our buyers and why we do backup offers. Again, from the listing side, I want the leverage, but like Jaime's saying, things fall out and they fall to you. And so for the buyer, if you like that house and you were number 2, number 3, and just lost it by $1,000, why wouldn't you want it to come to you automatically instead of going back to the market where you're going to be competing in another bidding war for it? It's not, it's more work for you as the buyer agent to write the offer, but it's something that to me, it's basic and it's, it's fundamental, and it's just, it's something that, I guess, Dad, as you ask us that, it's something that, that me and Jaime, we know, but you forget, because you just do it all the time. Right. But it's always kind of shocking when I run into an agent that doesn't want a backup offer for their seller or doesn't want to do a backup offer for their buyer. It's like, do you know how this works? And again, it's not my job to educate them. I'm blowing.
I had an agent, who got their license in 2019 or 2020, helping sell their grandparents' house. And we were second best offer. We knew how we had lost, put in a backup offer, and no acceptance, sellers don't want to, do a backup offer. And again, you get the feeling with quick responses that, did you, really ask or whatever, but you're helping your grandparents out here, man. It's their house. And you're advising them to not take a backup offer doesn't make much sense to me. But neither here nor there. Just experience recently I've had.
What we're seeing, especially in today's market, it's October 25th, 2023, is that we now have home inspections back in the purchase contracts. Probably 75% of my offers that are coming in on my listings have remedy requests. And so we are seeing houses
on warranties
fall out of contract because of the home inspections and for silly things. I mean,
I had them fall because of rates. The rates aren't locked.
Yeah.
I think a lot of bad habits were made when the market was good.
Right. And that's my point, is that this is not the same market. And so we've been through this. I've been doing it since 1998. I've seen the ups. I've seen the downs. And so, I'm in short line to becoming the oldest realtor in Columbus. So, but with that is experience. With that comes wisdom. With that gives you as a buyer and or a seller better information to make your decisions on. As I said, the market even in the last 30 days has changed, because 30 days ago we were 7.25%, and we were actually starting to see a little pop in the market. And then in 30 days, we're up close to 8%. And that mental jujitsu that happens as rates get close to major markers like 8%, we see the market stall a little bit. And then if it does go to 8 or above 8, then if it sits there for a week or two, we'll see a little pop in the market because it becomes the new norm, so to speak. But bottom line is, backup offers, I think on buyer side and on seller side, is a very good idea, and something as you as a buyer or something you as a home seller should definitely consider. And if you have any more questions about that kind of stuff, give us a call. Our number is here online. And if you like this kind of information, want to know more, you can like, subscribe, comment, hit that notification bell as we produce more information. You'll get it right away. All right, guys, I appreciate your time here this morning. Good discussion about backup offers.